I don't know if you know this, but there's kind of a lot going on right now.
U.S. troops stationed in Europe are on high alert this morning as Russia moves farther into Ukraine.
The Ukraine crisis is escalating this morning.
We now have a situation where people are being killed, where Ukrainian servicemen are dying, where civilians are being bombed, where families are fleeing. It's a tragedy. It's a 21st century tragedy.
And I feel like a lot of us kind of expected that after all the pandemic stuff ended, that things would just go back to normal. But then now we have all this new things, this Ukraine stuff going on, and we have all of this, like the flooding in Brisbane, and it feels like it never really stops, I guess. But I think it's really important for us in this time, especially, to be creating, to be making things, because when you create stuff, that's the stuff that gets remembered, that's the stuff people look back on, and you know, I'm just gonna...
In my opinion, things created around historical events can be broken into two different categories: facts and feelings. Things that are created around facts include things like footage, photos, artistic depictions, quotes, audio, physical evidence. These are just things that are created and are unedited, unchanged, and are the exact thing that people saw at that time. And then you've got the feeling side of things. That's things like artistic renditions, opinion pieces, music, art, conversations, stylized depictions, creative outlets. These are the ways that these historical events made people feel, how these historical events made people respond to the things that were happening around them. And it's this combination of things that gives people in the future the full depiction of the impact that event actually had. Ultimately, it's the facts plus the feelings that equal the total truth of the historical event.
If it weren't for art, if it weren't for paintings, if it weren't for photos and videos, we would have no idea how these historical events have impacted people. If we look at things like ancient Rome, how like these wars impacted the people, we wouldn't know any of that without the paintings that depict the people experiencing it. So it's more important now than ever to be creating, to be sharing how these things make us feel and how they impact us on our day-to-day. And I have nothing but respect for those people that are currently in Ukraine that are filming and are doing interviews and creating these pieces of media that will be watched and experienced for years to come. What I'm trying to say is, creating things and making things is not only going to benefit you, but it's always going to benefit humanity as a whole. And that probably sounds wanky and stupid, but I really do stand by that. Political views aside entirely, war is always terrible. It always impacts people that it has absolutely nothing to do with. And I think everyone can relate to that on a human level. That's all I have to say today.